Whilst we are working away in Pembrokeshire, another group have been wrestling with planners in South Devon.
Save our village!
Save our village!
Is that us or Alan talking?
No, that's us!
Oh, is it?
The Battle of Yurts and Vendors begins.
They claim to be pioneers of a new sustainable way of living in an experimental eco-village on farmland in South Devon. There are a few communities like this about. It seems to be that if people apply in advance to try and do something like this, they just get turned down before they even get a chance to start, which is why we decided to start first and ask permission later.
Oh yes. Oh yes, it is. It's nice. That's how I do it. Hold.
Is that enough? It doesn't need to go to the top of the...
Is it really good? Can we eat it?
Can we eat it?
Yeah.
We will eat it.
We want to live as sustainably and well as possible and learn the skills that we feel will be vitally important in the future when we can't rely on oil.
This field is probably like the most likely place to be planting this winter if there's more coppers to go in.
I think there, that hedge.
Which hedge?
Just to windbreak up that line there, which is just over there.
It's a design system that's based on ethics and principles, people care, earth care, caring for the earth, and fair share, so fair distribution of wealth. And anything that fits into those three, all three of those, is permaculture.
I trained as a nurse and then I did a degree in religious studies. My life sort of turned around really when I went to Newbury, to the road protest at Newbury, and was there for like a year and a half and just totally fell in love with vendors and living on the earth.
To have made a home which has got so much of yourself in it, so it's like an extension of yourself. Myron and Brainy started to build their bender first. This was the first bender.
Oh, the media, man.
The media. First newspaper shot.
Start out, Masons. I'm their planning and enforcement officer.
Right. And have you been to the land before?
Yes, I came in December, January, and I've been here about 3 or 4 times since then. And that's really to watch the site develop, to see whether or not there's anything that is so demonstrably harmful that we need to bring a stop to it. I think the only problem that this type of development creates is the unauthorised residential use, and that's what's going to be the subject of this planning appeal.
Our future depends a great deal on this, and we've been building up for this moment, this inquiry, for so long, for years in fact.
We're hopeful that people understand that with climate change we've got a new reality, and that councils and planning policies have to get wise to the new reality, and that is we need to have ways, have policies to encourage and help people who want to take responsibility and live in the countryside in a responsible manner. And we really want to work with the council to make sure that we're a good precedent and not a bad one.
Plainly, that's exactly the case that the inspector's going to have to be considering. He's going to be looking at the development plan policies, which we're saying say it should be refused, and having to decide whether the case put forward by the appellants is enough to make an exception in this case.
We asked for a retrospective application, you know, after we'd already started the project. We asked for change of use from agricultural land to a permaculture holding incorporating agriculture, forestry, ancillary rural enterprises and temporary low impact structures. and we asked for permission for that for a 5-year period.
Well, they must have received that letter.
All accommodation could be removed from the site without a trace should this be necessary. This being so, and bearing in mind the substantial fallback position available to the appellants, I conclude that the advancements of permaculture and sustainable ways of living facilitated by this project have sufficient potential value to outweigh the limited harm to other interests of acknowledged importance identified earlier in my reasoning. Accordingly, I find justification in this case for a departure from relevant local and national policy sufficient to grant planning permission.
3 years, 8 dwellings.
Right, better start working then.
Done to you two. And I just went there and I just lay down and it was sunny.
We send love to the land on which we stand. We send love to the land under our feet. We are blessed by this land on which we stand. We are blessed by the land of Galilee. We are blessed by this land on which we stand. We are blessed by the land under our feet.